go. I got to lean in.
What's going on, everybody? It is us again. It is time to lean in for the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I'm here with Antonio, your favorite too. I'm like, we are favorite too, not just because we always here, but because y'all just love us, right? Um,
Absolutely.
right. The highest paid. I got it right. The highest paid, and
And the creator. We in
yeah.
there.
Why? I'm like, wait, what am I? Listen, humble beginnings, humble beginnings. We're going to talk about the reunion. We have been here for the last, it looks like, what, about 3 months now, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Reviewing this. It started, was it October or September? It's been a while. The
Wow.
beginning fall, we now we're in the winter, so we were at one point going to like stop doing it because we didn't have the time capacity. But we've made the time. We have found the time, and we have made it to the end of the season. So, I see some people in the chat. Aggravator Bay, I ain't see you in a while. Hey, girl, how you doing? Now I don't want to miss Jenna, but hopefully I'm saying girl. If you're not girl, my bad. Uh, hey Alicia, hey Latasha, Clinton, David. What's going on, everybody in the chat? Antonio, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. It's been a productive week. So, this franchise has been really, this season has been really, really good. So
Yeah.
I hate for it to end because I really enjoyed the episodes. But, I think it's, we on episode 17 now with the first part of the reunion. So I think it's time to, give it a little rest for a while.
I agree. Hey, Miss Main Tips, Sarah, welcome to Alive. I know I'm gonna miss this show too. They have really given us like a really good, solid Housewives season. I know
Yeah.
like some of the other franchises, I think New York is also in it, and they just had like an explosive finale. But they took a minute to get there. It's very rare that you get a cast or a show that's just good all the way through. And I
Yeah.
honestly, as I said last week, I don't think there's been one episode that I have not enjoyed from this
Yeah.
particular franchise. So kudos to them. Maybe they'll get an Emmy or something. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But I'm sure they'll get something for it. Make sure y'all hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We still have Potomac going on. I know we missed this past week, but we'll double up next week, and we have Beverly Hills going on as well. I believe that Atlanta will probably be starting is when Potomac ends. So just stay close to the page to know, if and when we'll be doing that show because it's not guaranteed. But if we are, you'll know the details about that as well. So just stay tuned and we'll go from there. Okay. It's Amanda K. I logged in my other number. I sure was like, I don't know who Miss Main Tips is, but they over here acting like a moderator. Let me get them a wrench. But it's you, Amanda. Hey, Amanda, that makes so much sense. Listen, I would still love all of the anyone that will be shouting us out. So as she said, Amanda K, aka Miss Main Tips, like and subscribe. All right, so we have not talked about the reunion looks yet. So I did not get the individual photos, but I did get well shit, I had it, but it won't show up on the screen. I had like the group shot of all everybody to show the looks, but like I guess Antonio, before if I don't get it, who would you say was your best dress? Because we saw the photos a few weeks ago. And then
Mhm.
we saw, sometimes they look a little different than what we see pictures versus what we see on camera. Who would you
Yeah.
say was best dressed and who do you feel like missed the mark, if anybody?
I feel like Angie K was
Mm-hmm.
my uh, best dress. I love
Mm-hmm.
the silhouette. I love the look, the color. I enjoyed everything. Now, let me say this. I almost took it away from her and possibly gave it away just because when I seen her shoes, I just wasn't a big fan of them. Like they had pearls all over them. I don't care if they were Jimmy Choo. I don't care. I just wasn't a big fan. But I still think she did a great job delivering the look. So even though I didn't care for the shoes per se, they didn't knock her all the way out the top spot. Missed the mark. Um, Probably I would say initially I was thinking maybe Lisa at first, but I did like Lisa's once I saw it on TV. So I probably say Meredith when she put that shrug, whatever you want to call it, from Ross on. during the reunion. I hated that. I'm like, why? I mean, I guess maybe she was cold or something, but it looked so cheap. Not only that, the dress was already like a, okay, it's a straight dress. It has some gathering in the middle, some sparkles. I guess her son designed it. Kudos to Brooks Marks.
Did he really design it for real?
Yeah, he like designed it or something like that. I watched it on the
Didn't he design her last reunion look
when she wore that suit that was
the suit with the fur on it? I think this she.
Yeah, I think he did that as well.
I think it's time for Mary to find a new designer. I don't know what y'all think, but that's what I think. It's, no shade.
Yeah. So if I could say anybody, I would probably say Meredith was my least favorite out of everybody. Yeah.
I personally did not go up for anybody's look. Okay. And I think it's because I don't really care for the overall theme that they gave. I mean, that's just me. If I had to choose somebody, I don't think anybody looked horrible, in my opinion. I tried to, for one, for those that are saying that Lisa is like plain Jane, Lisa's always plain Jane. If you go back to every reunion, she's always pretty much in the same silhouette, the same aesthetic. So I didn't expect anything from her at all. I mean, she don't even like to do a damn theme right. So Lisa's going to always just be Lisa. Let's just be clear, right? Mary, it looked like she, like when you say you have an animal or a dog or a cat and they go get their balls removed and they have to wear that little neck thing. That was Mary at the reunion. Like, I just cannot stop wondering, like, where the hell is her neck? I didn't like that.
I actually thought, why is she like scrunched?
Like, it looked like she looked like she just was like this the whole time. Like,
her seat like that, but it wasn't that. It was that big thing on her neck.
It just was so stupid. I just did not like that little neck piece. I didn't like it. And Whitney plain, Angie cool. The shoes, whatever, blah. Nobody gave it to me. And even Bronwyn giving us this big moment, it didn't do nothing to me. That's all.
I love them what I love most was I did like the color palette, like the pinks, purples, reds, burgundies.
We've seen this before.
Where?
Housewives of Atlanta did it season 10. The same type of look, the same type of color scheme, literally. They were the reds and the purples. They did with the one with Kim Zolciak came back.
Oh, I guess I'm thinking because Kenya had on like yellow.
No, she had on a red.
No, Kenya had on yellow.
Oh, I'm sorry, she didn't have a yellow, but they did the similar scheme with like the reds and purple.
Since you mentioned they did.
It was the same. I like the color palette. I just didn't really care for. I don't know. I just feel like it wasn't executed right. I don't know. Maybe it just wasn't the right cast to give this thing to. I don't know. I didn't really love anybody. That's just me. Okay. I ain't got no fashion degree, but that's just my opinion, my square. But yeah, that's my thoughts. That's your thoughts. So let's get into the actual reunion. So we pick up this part. One reunion. Everyone is there. Everyone is arriving. We know that the seating chart. We have Angie K having a first seat. This is technically her 5th season. Now she was supposed to be around the 1st season, but she wasn't. They used her home the 2nd season. The 3rd season she came as Jen Shah's friend. The 4th season she got a snowflake, and this season she's first chair. So a true glow up, right? We see Whitney and Heather coming in, they japping each other up. They like, hey, what's up? They I was like, what in the gang related stuff is they got? But one thing about them too, they fall out and have these issues, but they seem to always come back to each other in some kind of way. So I can appreciate that. Because they was at each other's throat, literally, all on Ultimate Girls Trip, all last season for that. So it's good to see that they, bad weather is still just as bad as it was, when it was good, I guess. And so, but Whitney speaks to Lisa. She's like, hey, Lisa. Lisa says, hey, very small, very short. Andy starts off the reunion by asking everyone, like, what is the goal? What does everyone want to accomplish? Bronwyn talks about, learning more as she's watched the show. This is her first time being on the show, so learning more about that and just, getting some clarity on some things that were said that she saw. And then Whitney wants to have a conversation with Lisa. She wants her to actually listen to her. All season she's been yelling, "Will you shut the F up and listen to me?" So I guess this is her moment to actually try to talk to Lisa, right? So they start off the reunion in the first segment. And it's lengthy. So just get on, have a seat, put the seatbelt on, and let's ride. Because it was a lot, child, in this scene, in this moment. All right, so it started off about Lisa, Whitney, the whole podcast talk, where Lisa and Whitney went wrong, and the rumors about Alibaba, about her business or whatever. And so they also mentioned the spat between Angie and Lisa, how it started, the whole thing, the comments about the parenting, like my child doesn't sit around and play video games all day. I'm actually raising my child. I forgot all about that. And yeah, so that happened in that moment too. So Whitney uses this moment to clear up, her brand, basically saying that she's not taking from Alibaba and how they use images and whatever she explained, right? And so, they kind of get into Lisa because they feel like Lisa was the person that brought it on camera. And, Andy kind of comes to Whitney's defense and saying that basically, there was a blogger that talked about it, but the whole world did not know about it until you brought it on the platform. So they kind of hammer into Lisa about that. And Lisa basically feels like she did nothing wrong. She feels like it was going to come out anyway. So she didn't really bring it on camera. It was something that was already known, is what she's saying or whatever. Now, Meredith uses this moment to say, because Meredith is also involved. Meredith is apparently in contact with the person that also started this rumor or whatever. And she says, well, listen, I thought I was doing you a favor by bringing it to you. Unlike what y'all do to me. Y'all don't bring anything to me. Y'all just talk about me. But realistically, Meredith did not tell Whitney. She told, was it Heather?
Yeah.
So they kind of, Meredith doesn't look good. She looks kind of worse because she's trying to make a case, but she's not really following the same guidelines of her case. So then they talked about how once Lisa was accused of being the one that brought the rumor out, how she was going the distance to get her investigator, whoever it was it Sean? What's his name? Sean to basically get all the evidence and fire it back at what's her name and blah, blah, blah. But it turns out he didn't go the damn distance because he didn't bring back shit. And the reason why she says that he didn't go the distance is because there was some proof that Whitney was supposed to provide to her so he could go the distance. It's so weird. Hold on, let me put this picture back up here too. My bad. I took this down. Where is it? Oh, Salt Lake City. All right. So then they talk about, Heather being, kind of messy in this situation. Angie basically comes at Heather a little bit by saying that, you've kind of been loyal to Lisa all year. Mind you, I've known you for a long time. Where's the loyalty to me? Lisa kind of uses this moment to bring in Bronwyn by saying, well, I actually, the issue with me and you, Angie, I talked to Bronwyn about this. I told her I would talk to you. And Bronwyn was like, no, sweetie, you didn't say that. All you said was it was messed up. It wasn't a nice thing to say. And so then it becomes a thing to where Lisa's like, okay, oh, you want to be a part of this? And she's just like, oh, she's piping up. She's piping up. And then she was like, you want to get big with me? And Lisa's like, actually, no, I don't. To finish off this scene, they basically there's no proof that she would talk to her at all. Bronwyn calls her out. Angie says that she wanted to talk to Lisa, but she heard about the comment of so it becomes a thing about Angie talking online. And they bring up all these messages that Angie has said online, the tweets about her car being repossessed and whatever else she said. And it becomes a thing to where Meredith basically made a comment that Angie was Jen Shah's backup dancer. And so for the WAP video, I'm like, damn, Jen Shah sang WAP? I didn't know Jen Shah sang WAP.
I was still around for that.
I literally was like, wait, Jen Shah was on the remix? I didn't know that. So anyway, Angie doesn't like the fact that she said it. Apparently there's an actual video of her, Monica, and Jen Shah dancing in the WAP, like dancing in a video on TikTok to WAP. It goes back and forth. Andy wants Angie to acknowledge it. Angie's like, like, no, girl, like, I wasn't in a damn WAP video. Like, stop saying it. I wasn't whatever. And that is that on that. I'll stop there. It was a lot. But what are your thoughts? It was a whole mess.
Jesus.
Of Whitney versus Lisa to Angie versus Lisa to a little bit of Angie versus Heather to Bronwyn. This is a lot. But based off what I have presented to you, what are your thoughts?
Okay. I'm gonna really touch on the parts that I kind of stick out to. So in regards to Whitney, I know she was ready to defend that allegation that she was getting her jewelry from Alibaba. Every time they showed that and Meredith said it, it just took me out the way she says Alibaba. I don't know. It's just
Alibaba.
Alibaba. But so her explaining it though, I was still kind of left like kind of confused because she was like the picture was used as a placeholder, but I'm like, so the picture just so happened.
I think what she was trying to say is we're not using the jewelry, we're using because she was trying to justify.
She's saying that they not getting they sometimes may have the same jewelry.
They get it, but I think they're getting it and customizing it is what I kind of got from it. That's what I got from it. It seemed like she was like, this is my business, you know. But it sounded like she was saying to me that yes, we may get something from here and we use the photo, but our jewelry is customized. Like it's
so basically they taking the cheap jewelry, writing Prism on it, and then selling it for 10 and 20 times the amount.
I don't know.
That's
you know, Heather did Heather say that shit wasn't selling no? No, that was the Wild Rose.
No, that was her bad stuff.
Okay, my bad, wrong thing.
But yeah, so I was still, even with that, it's just like, okay, so I get it that you doing custom jewelry, but this is still the exact same thing that was on Alibaba for $3.96, and you selling it for what, $50, $60. So even if you're getting it and you're customizing it, you're just putting the name on it. To me, it's still a $3.96 necklace or whatever it is from Alibaba. I think Angie, I really like Angie this season. She did I didn't like though. Let me say this, that they tried to downplay, because when Meredith said that about, she wrote the tweet about, oh, you should still continue to be Jen Shah's backup dancer for the WAP video because I liked you better than. That was like a dig, meaning like,
of course,
you know. So it was you know, odd to me that Andy and the other women didn't really, well, some of the other women didn't see it, that it was the dig that it was. But it was also kind of funny to me that Angie was so serious about it. Like, I was not a backup dancer. It was like, I mean, you know, looking at the video and just speaking on that video, technically, you kind of was. You was in the background dancing.
I mean, she was definitely dancing in the video, you know. But I guess it was just the way she was trying to defend it by saying, you know, I can't even dance. Like, what do you mean? I don't back up. I'm like, girl, you was in that video.
She even said, Jen's in jail, and I'm sitting here. So
she did say, she said, why would you say I'm a backup dancer? I think Angie knew what Meredith was trying to say, right? But it just so happens that there is a video of her dancing with Jen Shah. So it made her look like, well, girl, you are doing it.
it was a lot, a whole lot. And Angie, you could see, was ready to kind of come out the gate smoking, but whatever they did with the scene kind of chopped it just a bit. I know they can't show everything. I think that she did right by when she was like, Lisa tried to chime in when she was talking to Meredith, and Angie was like, no, I'm not talking to you. Let me finish with her and then I'll come back to you. I was like, okay, you said Angie said line them up. She was ready. It was funny because it wasn't, that serious during these parts, but I did enjoy it. Lisa is just the most dramatic. She's so dramatic that it's like comedy, because where do all of a sudden you get this crying voice from, and then no tears come out, then you stop and you back to talking regular?
She did it like 10 times in this reunion. Like, she literally would start crying, and then it would go away, then it would come back, and then it would go away. She only produced like some tears like once, actually, of any time she cried. And that was when she was talking about the Bronwyn thing, which we'll talk about.
Okay.
How did you feel about, you know, her trying to bring in Bronwyn, you know, as like help to basically say that she was going to reach out to Angie and blah blah blah, but Bronwyn was like, "No, honey, you didn't say that. That's not what
I'm glad they pulled their receipt, because, you know, when she was like, I told you I was gonna do it, and Bron was like, no, that's actually not what you said, and they played back what was said. So it was like, okay, let me go ahead and try to get one in, you know, right quick, easy.
I don't think my thing is, if you at odds with somebody, I wouldn't be trying to use them at all. I wouldn't even like I wouldn't do that, because even if we didn't have that footage, if I'm at odds, I'm still gonna say, no, you did.
No, you didn't. Yeah.
I'm still gonna say no. I'm still gonna say no, even because we ain't cool.
You gonna have to run it on me, baby.
Right. You better pull out the audio, Yvonne. Yvonne, pull out the audio. Otherwise, no, I ain't say that.
Yeah. Don't get the receipts.
And then the fact that, you know, the whole going the distance, no receipts. I was just like, Lisa, girl.
But and then with that, if this is the cybersecurity person, why does anybody need to provide him proof?
That's why
so that he can get you proof. That's just working against yourself. If you ask me, if I gotta provide you the proof, what the hell am I paying you for? I can just do it myself.
I don't know why she would be waiting on someone to give them proof so she can do an investigation. What kind of investigation is that? Because a lot of investigations happen when people don't know.
That's what you investigate.
I'm pretty sure they didn't go to Jen Shaw and be like, hey, Jen, can you give me the old ladies you worked with? Because we got to run an investigation on you. They didn't have that.
Exactly. That's why I was like, you was waiting on the proof from her. Then what the hell was he getting paid for? Because she's talking about she should have sent Whitney the bill. And I'm like, girl, the bill there should be no bill.
What is the bill? Yeah, I was just like, Lisa, girl, please, you gotta stop reacting out of emotion. She reacts so fast, and I'll be like, you don't even know what you're saying right now.
That Lisa, she gonna listen. She gonna argue. She gonna stand in what she thinks, say whatever. She ain't gonna admit wrong going too fast. She gonna stand in her bullshit. She don't care how bad it looks.
Okay, so this was interesting. Now, last night on Watch What's Happening Live, Bronwyn was on there with, was it Julia? Right. So in this segment, it's interesting that this is here. So in this segment, they're talking about this $4 million necklace that she was supposed to be purchased for her. I think it was this during the trip? Was this?
Yeah, this was during the trip.
During the trip, because they came to the okay. So turns out she did not actually get that necklace. She got some earrings, a ring, and a smaller version of the necklace. That's what she said on the reunion. Mm-hmm. Now, when she's telling the story, snarky little Lisa says, well, Emma says you didn't buy it. And it's the way that Lisa is just like, Emma said you didn't buy it. She said, you didn't buy it. You didn't buy the earrings. You didn't buy the rings. You didn't buy nothing. I actually laughed out loud. And so Whitney was like, okay, wait, how do you know that? How did you ask her? And she was like, no, Emma just called me and told me that she didn't buy it. And they was just like, okay, so Emma is bad business. We're not gonna do listen, whoever Emma is right now,
no sales.
Girl, they're not gonna be buying from you no more, because if you
Emma's gonna have to start working for sales.
Baby, you're gonna have to go try Sears, okay? Because at this rate, they're not gonna hire you because you clearly
golly.
Fire Emma. Emma, please. I would never stop them. Nah. Don't even put Emma at Walmart, because she gonna know that I'm putting an extra piece of gum in my bag and then pay for it. I don't know. Just get her out of there. You can't do business with Emma. But anyway, everyone agrees. But Lisa continues and says that Emma loans Bronwyn jewelry all the time. And so she's like, I have the text message. She shows the text message to Andy, and Andy is reading it. And he's just like, wow, that was a lot. Like, Emma is mad at you, girl. And then Bronwyn was like, why would she, why would she be mad? And it just basically, Andy kind of says that Emma has been burned by, not Emma, sorry. Yeah, Emma, the message looks like Emma has been burned by Bronwyn. Yeah. Now, on Watch What's Happening Live, Homegirl said that she ain't buy none of it. Is that what I heard?
That's what you heard.
So, homegirl lied.
Lied, booty.
lied. And I'm just like, no, now, Bronwyn. Now, wait a minute.
I hated it. I
So
was
at this rate, do we still shop with Emma or do we not shop with Emma? I don't know, because Emma wasn't lying, but she just
Emma wasn't lying, but we still ain't gonna shop with her just because of how she did.
She talked too much. Okay, that's right. You're right.
So we still ain't gonna shop with her because of how she went about it. But we also looking at Bronwyn with the side eye because you clear. That's why I wanted Shantae to join tonight, because when we was talking about it earlier, she was saying that Bronwyn didn't lie. So I really wanted to like have a little, talk to her about it, on the recap tonight, but sad she couldn't join. But she was saying, no, Bronwyn didn't lie. And I'm like, yes, she did. She clearly on that. When Andy first brought it up, she says, maybe I should have worn it to put some of the stories to rest. Yes. And it's like, how would you have worn it if A, you didn't buy it at all, B, you then said, oh, well, I didn't get that necklace. We decided to go with a smaller version. But then I remember back to the anniversary dinner that they had that night, she did have that necklace on. So it was given like, I guess a loaner. They were going to see, from what I got, they were going to see if they wanted to buy the necklace. And that's why she was kind of left with it. But apparently she ended up sending back. She didn't buy anything. She didn't buy any, the hoops she said she bought. She ended up sending those back. So that's why I was like, did Todd tell her, nah, because you got to talking too much?
But I just don't know why what do you think will possess her to come on this, like, Watch What's Happening Live and, say that she did not, like, own up to all of it? That's crazy.
I think, and then she tried to spin it, and it was like, during, these economic times, it just wouldn't be a good look to spend that much on jewelry and blah, blah, blah. But girl, that's not what you said. And I hate it. I like her, but she clearly, she lied.
She lied. So I'll say this, and I know I see some comments like, I'm pretty sure that celebrities and people get stuff loaned to them all the time and stuff like that. Like, I get that. And so there is truth on both sides, you know what I'm saying? Especially from Lisa saying, Emma loans her jewelry. She probably does, right?
She probably does, yeah.
I'm pretty sure these celebrities don't own a lot of this stuff that they have. They wear it, it's loaned to them, it's whatever, right? But I don't know why she would have to lie. Not on this platform. Like, it's, you can make all the money you want, but you're still on reality. You're still on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Yeah,
like, you're not Kim K, so it's okay, right? We know she clearly has money. We know that, but it was kind of interesting.
I was clearly doing all right, but even I was like, oh shit, a $4 million necklace. But I'm to find out she didn't buy the $4 million necklace. She didn't buy the $2 million necklace. That's
what Lisa said. Lisa said it with a stern face. You didn't buy any of it. You didn't buy the ring. You didn't buy anything.
They knew it, and that's why when Lisa looked at Heather, and I could tell her and Heather had already had a conversation about Bronwyn not buying any of it even before, and they knew that they was gonna hit her with that at the reunion. But Bronwyn had Lisa. Let's say Lisa not brought that part up, we would have thought Bronwyn had a necklace, because it's like, how can you say, oh, I should have worn it? How could you? You don't have nothing from that person, like nothing.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's ironic that aired the same day as the part one. So I guess we cleared that up real quick, right? No more speculation or whatever.
And another thing, I'm sorry, one more thing about that. When Bronwyn and Lisa were kind of having it back and forth, and Bronwyn was like, well, I guess I'll just have to take a picture of my jewelry and post it like you did from the fashion show. You might post a picture with some jewelry, but it ain't gonna be that jewelry that we saw in Palm Springs that lady brought to you.
It won't be.
I don't know why. I hate that she did that. It's like, girl, you don't gotta like we got Whitney over here wearing $3.96 jewelry, and we got Meredith wearing whatever her jewelry costs. Like, I mean, ain't nobody pushing no millions of dollars in jewels, I don't think, every episode like this. So she didn't even have to do all that.
Yeah, I agree. Sometimes less is great. Like, you don't have to say a lot. When you say too much, sometimes you just kind of get yourself in a hole. And I think that's just what it is. Right, David. You ain't got a lie, Craig. All right, so I'm gonna break this up in a little bit too. So there it becomes a thing about Bronwyn and Lisa's relationship, right? And they're not speaking. They have decided that they are social friends. I think the way that it was explained was that, they never were like best friends. But I mean, Lisa says that she was somebody she recommended to be on the show. Lisa says she's done recommending people. Turns out she has recommended her, Angie K, Angie H,
That
Heather,
Asian lady.
that lady. Well, we knew she recommended that lady.
Oh well, yeah, we knew that.
We
I
knew
couldn't.
that.
I kind of scrunched my face when they popped her picture up there though with the name. I'm like, what the fuck, y'all?
They did do that. It wasn't. It was very much so. Bing.
I was like, what was that about? But okay,
I
yeah,
think
she recommended Heather.
I think they did that because Trump is now in office. That's probably why they did that. They probably was like, because I mean, I don't know if they would have did that had it been Campbell. I'm just saying, it would just said Jenny.
Probably wouldn't even say that.
They wouldn't even say that.
Probably would have blocked that
part. So that's where they are. But she said she's done recommending people. Angie said, "You ain't recommend me, honey. Heather recommended me." Okay. Season 1 is what she says. Because we know that she's supposed to be on the show season 1, allegedly, right? So then they basically own to having, like I said, a social friendship, very surface level. Then they asked the question to Heather about like not giving Bronwyn a chance from the beginning. That kind of goes into how when she came to her house before the trip, why she wasn't invited on the trip. Heather basically talks about how she feels like she was set up. She feels like when she came over, she was coming into a place where she has to beg to be her friend and go on this trip. Whitney comes to both their sides and says, like, listen, she doesn't think that Bronwyn was coming from that place, but she does see how Heather could think that. So I thought that was like a good thing for her to say. And then, but she also says that she feels like, although she's coming to Bronwyn's aid, Bronwyn seemed to be more focused on the acceptance of Lisa versus being a friend to her and even claiming her as a friend. And so Bronwyn does own up to that. That's very true because for initially I liked Bronwyn a lot. And then I stopped liking her, less and less because I felt like she was just so far up Lisa's ass. And it's like she kept, no matter what because Lisa showed her many times that she wasn't the best as a friend with her. She showed her that it was very surface level. She still would kind of go to her, like even throwing other folks under the bus. Like I would have been okay. I know that, what she said was true, but the way that she turned on Angie and Whitney, I thought was kind of interesting.
Yeah, it was.
Especially knowing that, how, what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you friends with two people that she don't like, but realistically, they seem like they would have had a genuine friendship with her.
Yeah.
But she threw them under the bus to try to be friends with Lisa again. And I didn't like that. So they talk about that or whatever. And then they ask Heather about, her new body, being a mean girl. So she gives a whole explanation about how she felt like she, it's almost like she felt like she liked herself when she liked her confidence when she was bigger. I think is what she like season 1.
That's kind of what that's
kind of what she said.
She was more confident then. Yeah, that's what she said.
But Mary came to her defense and says, well, she is different, but she feels like she's very confident in whatever she is now. And now that she has lost weight, she can basically stand up for herself in a more confident way. That's what Mary kind of said. So I'll stop there. Get any thoughts on that before I move forward, because the next part is like so long and drawn out. But anything regarding Heather and Bronwyn's relationship, Lisa and Bronwyn's relationship, and recommendations of people on the show, anything there?
I do think that Heather, sometimes you meet people and it's like the person doesn't even have to do anything, or they could do something very small and it just make you like just not like them. I get it. And I wish Heather would like stand in that. Like I just didn't like her. Even at the break, you could tell. I was like, oh, she really does not like Bronwyn, because from what they showed, what Bronwyn said about Whitney, it wasn't so horrendous and so bad to where it's like, oh yeah, I had to run back and tell it because it was so bad the way Heather tried to make it. It gave, I don't really like this new girl, and she coming in friends with Lisa, and this is my season to be friends with Lisa. We can go shopping together. We, can wear the same size. You know, we can try on the same clothes, so on and so forth. This is my season with Lisa to really be her girl. I don't want Bronwyn to be around. So that's kind of what it was giving, very territorial. We said early on that even with the whole Bronwyn and Lisa friendship, that she was way more friends with Lisa than Lisa was friends with her. I just don't think that she knew how surface of friends they were until she kind of started to watch the season back. And we can see that, you know, there have been times where even Bronwyn's husband in the background was, you know, he threw in the back on break when he threw shade at Lisa and was like, well, you know, she can come sit in our, you know, in the box with us to see jazz tickets, and she don't have to do other stuff to be able to get those tickets. And I was like, oh, was shade?
That was shade. That was at the end, but that was.
Oh, okay, my bad.
No, it's fine. But I'm just saying that was shade when he said.
Yeah,
that.
so it was just, you know. So I'm glad that she is. And I'm glad that Whitney did call Bronwyn out. Was like, you know, you acted like, you know, you was friends with me, but you was kind of ashamed to say that. And Bronwyn owned it and was like, she wanted the acceptance, I guess, of Lisa so bad that she was willing to kind of downplay her friendship with Whitney in order to be closer to Lisa. That's just crazy to me. Y'all is 40 like plus, like that's odd. But I mean, and that's why I was like, okay, that's why we always say Lisa must really be that girl, because if somebody got you like downplaying your friendship with somebody else so you can be closer to them, that's crazy. But it does seem like now Bronwyn is kind of seeing the light, and that she learned a big lesson from, you know, her first season. I will say, as far as most of the girls rather that Lisa has recommended, they've been good recommendations with the exception of that Asian lady. But you know, they have been like Angie H was to me good. Her husband was batshit crazy, and you know, they should bring him back around and let him create some more fake accounts. But you know, hey.
Allegedly.
No, he said on the show that he created some of.
I didn't remember him saying that.
Yeah.
I think so. As far as I love Mary for coming to her aid. However, Mary herself even said that she was like a little pot stirrer. And I think, you know, maybe, you know, I mean, you can use the term mean girl. Personally, I just use messy. I think she is just so messy, and she enjoys, whether she likes it or not, she enjoys creating chaos amongst the group. You know, she tries to mask it as she wants people to be transparent, and she wants people to like burn the book. No, what you're doing is you're starting mess. Like someone said in the chat, if you really wanted Whitney to know, you would have told her immediately. Like you waited some time. I also think that Heather is very guarded because of the situation last year with Monica. I think she's going to be that way with anybody that's new. And that's just why I think she's very protective of the group, and it's very much so like no new friends. You know, we have each other, and honestly, that's not going to work. She's going to have to come out of that, like in general, because I don't think initially Bronwyn did anything to make her not like her. I mean, even once the moment that it was cleared up that the same thing she said to them in that car was the same thing she said to Whitney, that should have been the end of it.
Yeah,
but it wasn't.
Heather just liked her.
Yeah, it wasn't. Heather wanted more to be more. She wanted it to be about more, and that's what happened. So Heather, I'm not saying it because of weight loss, but I mean, she could be feeling herself. You know,
she's definitely feeling herself for sure. Yeah. I ain't mad at her about that. Shit, I lose 2 pounds. I mean, Heather lost a whole person. So
now, what's gonna be interesting is when Heather and Lisa fall out
next season for sure.
We ain't seen them. We've seen them have moments in the past, and they got back. They got cool, but we ain't seen them. We ain't see the new Heather versus the new Lisa. That's gonna be interesting. Okay,
that happened.
Very interesting, and you know it's gonna get ugly. So I'm pretty sure she's gonna get called more than Shrek. All right. So then the conversation turns a bit, and we talk about the situation with Gwen and Gwen's father and everything. So there's even today on social media, Bronwyn made a post about everything. So what happened is we know that Gwen's father passed away, right?
Yeah.
Gwen does not know her father or her father's parents, so her grandparents. This is Bronwyn's daughter. However, on the show, we know that Lisa it finds out by a picture or whatever she showed her. I don't know what she showed her.
It was a
She
picture
knows,
of the father.
yes, exactly. She knows that family. And so in this moment, you know, Bronwyn is kind of upset that the story got out because apparently it wasn't that the story got out. It's just the whole piece of the family is saying that they're saying that she had a miscarriage.
Yeah.
And that the baby was never born, basically.
Yeah.
And so that's not, she's saying that's not obvious. That's not the case. The baby's here. So hello, she had a miscarriage. And so we see footage of them talking about it, but then there's unseen footage of them talking about it, which she says she asked production to have removed. But in the after show, Lisa talks, and I didn't even, you know, I watched the after show, but I forgot. She sat and talked to Brittany.
Yeah.
But anyway, she in the after show mentioned the whole piece of what the family is saying. Nobody apparently knew that per Bronwyn. Not even, well, I don't think she said Todd didn't know it either. She said Todd didn't know it. I don't think anybody knew it, not even Gwen, right? Nobody knew it but her.
Nobody knew
right.
it.
So in this whole moment, you know, Bronwyn just kind of lays into Lisa about like how she confided into her, how she, you know, she felt like she could trust her with this and, you know, why it was such sacred or whatever. And so Lisa gets emotional. This part took me out. She was like, oh my God, fuck her. She's like, fuck me, fuck you.
And then Lisa, I'm the one that get fucked over all the
time. Lisa, the whole thing, basically, it sounds like Bronwyn is trying to get Lisa to at least acknowledge she was wrong for mentioning it on the after show. She's saying that you knew how sacred it was. Why would you go on the after show to say that, knowing it would get out, right? But Lisa won't own up to it. Lisa will not. She won't say that she's sorry or anything like that. You know, she just basically says that I feel like you two have different experiences, and you two should talk to, you know. And Brown was like, "See, this is the problem." And then what it reminds me of is when she was trying to get Lisa to tell her that she doesn't think that she is two-faced. But Lisa would not give her that. She would not give her that. And it's the same thing now. So here we are at the finale. Bronwyn still looking for some form of acceptance from Lisa. And it's just like, girl, you couldn't have thought you would get this from this lady. Like, this is not your friend. I don't know why. I wish Bronwyn would just have a damn backbone with Lisa, but it's like she has one, but that bone be a little broke sometimes, you know.
It'd be a little brittle.
It'd be a little brittle. I'd be like, stand up, Bronwyn, stand up. But you know, what are your thoughts on this? You know, Lisa kind of gets more emotional. It's just like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening, and I'm just so sorry. I just fuck up on the daily. She's making herself out to be like everyone's coming at her, and she's always doing something wrong. When realistically, she is. But what are your thoughts? People are saying that Bronwyn shouldn't have talked about it. They said she lied and blah blah blah. We didn't know anything about the miscarriage thing, honestly. I didn't watch the after show, not often anyway. And so we saw the unseen footage, and production did not show it. So I mean, maybe she did have to remove it. But you know, what are your thoughts on this? Because basically, Bronwyn feels like Lisa put it out there, and she should at least acknowledge that she did and have some kind of, you know, apology. Also, be sympathetic to the fact that, okay, this man has passed away. I'm telling you what happened. Like, if they thinking that if they're saying that they think that she had a miscarriage and this child is still here, why are you not having some kind of sympathy for me at all?
That's exactly. And that's what I think. That's what I think it really is now, as it relates to Bronwyn and how she feels about it. It's not really about you know, just the situation at home, but it's about you not having any, you know, sympathy or empathy rather for my daughter and what, you know, she has had to endure, you know, with this situation the last 18 years, not knowing her dad, so on and so forth. But for you to now go and say, oh, well, I see it from their perspective as well, you know, and they were told that you had a, you know, a miscarriage. So then it does put Bronwyn possibly in a situation to where she may have to defend herself again, you know, with her daughter, you know, to say, hey, I didn't, that's not that's not true, or that did not happen. Bronwyn said her dad called the grandparents, wasn't able to reach them, never got a call back or anything like that. She said she never tried. I think in this situation, for me, Lisa dead ass wrong. Even if she didn't bring up the whole miscarriage thing and all of that, even I would still say she was wrong for taking the side of those people and not saying, okay, this child has been in the world for this amount of years and you guys never even tried to find it. So I guess that's why she even brought up the whole miscarriage thing in defense of them. I'm not buying that. Everybody that was sitting there knew Lisa was dead ass wrong. Heather even tried to throw her a bone and say, hey, you might as well go ahead and apologize because she's got this. So whatever the words were that she used when I watched it today, it was like, it wasn't it was almost like, hey, she winning. You need to go ahead and apologize.
They all were. Even Meredith, they everybody was trying to get her to be like, okay, yeah, like it may not have been your intent, but the impact of what happened, do you not have any sympathy? And I think that that everybody was trying to get her to maybe apologize. I think what would have put Bronwyn at ease was not an apology. I think it would have been more if she would have said, I don't think she wanted her to say she had any support for the family at all, considering of the rumor of what it was.
I think that's what it is.
I think she just wanted her to be like, like you said, I have sympathy for you. Like, I'm sorry that this something just, and I think she wasn't gonna get that from Lisa.
This shouldn't have happened to you. It shouldn't have been anything about
that was she wanted
from their side. It's two sides, and that's why she was like, I'm in a lose situation, and all of it. And it was like, no, it don't have to be that. So clearly you not as close to those people as you think, or because if so, then you would have known there was a possibility that this man, their dead son or deceased son, had a kid somewhere, out there. So I just,
my thing is too, if the family, if the family was not supportive of the child anyway, I mean, what is it like this? Like Green Girl just said, to lie about the miscarriage at all. It would be easy to be like, she had a miscarriage, just so you can use that as an excuse to not support something that's not present, right? But in this case, we have a whole child here, 18-year-old at this point, so it's just like, I don't know, it's kind of interesting, and it was a very interesting, back and forth between the two. Bronwyn didn't seem to really get too emotional, honestly. She a little bit, but not really. Lisa was giving you all the emotions, honey.
I think that Bronwyn kind of sees Lisa for kind of who she is at this point, and Lisa definitely brought that up on the after show as a soundbite. I agree with Bronwyn in that aspect. She knew that, I'll say this, and it won't paint that family in such a bad picture or whatever. I'm also like, Lisa, how are you so connected to this family? Because you didn't know the son, you knew the mama. Like, how are you so connected to them? That was another thing that I just kind of popped in my head. But I don't.
What's strange about
Bronwyn
this whole thing
from her, huh?
What's strange about this whole thing is that, for one, I hate storylines about family, people that we don't really see, because I need to see them. Bring them on camera. Otherwise, leave it on the playground. I'm sorry.
Because now I want to know how.
Now I want to know what's going on. So at this rate, she's 18. I know Bronwyn's saying she's leaving it up to Gwen to figure out what she wants to do. At this rate, I also feel like what's her name? Bronwyn needs like some therapy on this situation, because clearly it's like she's 18 now, but this clearly impacts you as well. It's 18 years later, it impacts you.
Some unresolved trauma.
There's definitely some unresolved trauma there. And so, I don't really know if the family or whatever watched the show, whatever, but at this rate, they're part of the story. So, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But I also agree with Dr. C, who, Lisa could just probably shut the hell up, because why are you speaking for, if I was their family, I'll be mad at Lisa right now too.
Because why you going
on? I'd be like, why are you over here talking? Like, I think that's the whole thing. It's like we don't really know the truth, right? But the most verbal person is the party that's unrelated to either. Lisa ain't related to Gwen. She ain't related to that. She knows the family and she knows the mother of Gwen. She is not in any way related to these people. So I think Lisa should just shut the hell up.
Yeah. Yeah.
In my opinion. And that way she won't have to worry about being involved or lose or going the distance or whatever the hell she gonna do. Just be quiet. Like,
especially, her knowing when her, it's not the exact same situation, but her knowing like with her husband and when he tried to find his biological mom, how she was like pretty much didn't want nothing to do with him and said, when, I gave you up that day, you and everything about you was erased from my memory. She should have then, when she found out that situation, should have been like, you know what? I see what happened with him when I tried to help. Let me just stay out of this. But yeah.
Like Lily said, same thing happened to her husband. Like, she needs to learn this, just be quiet sometimes. You don't have to always be, I love that. You don't have to always do that. Hey, Jasmine. Hey, Chase in the chat. Give Me Shelter says, Lisa doesn't respect bounds. She does not. She wants
people to respect hers, though.
She do want people to respect hers, child. So they go on a break and we actually get into the end of it. So we're like right at the end of it. They go on a break. We see the women that have husbands are venting to their husbands about what's going on at the reunion. Sorry, what's happened thus far at the reunion. Whitney says that she's talking to, was it Angie? She said that basically Lisa is the problem within the group, whatever. Lisa's tired of everybody. She's crying, trying to cry to John. And
hold up, quick thing. John was like, I want to hug you, but I don't want to mess up your makeup. And I'm like, but if she crying, her makeup gonna be messed up anyway. So
yeah, Lisa without makeup is interesting, and so I applaud John for not wanting to mess up her makeup. I'm just gonna leave it right there. So John, that's the best thing he did all season, in my opinion. I'm leaving right there. Latasha, John is an enabler. I will say that. We're gonna talk about that too. But yeah, so she's venting about that. And Bronwyn is talking to, her husband, talking to Todd, and baby, it's a shade fest up in there. She basically tells him that, they talked about their relationship being a social relationship, but she says not only is it a social relationship, it's a social climb. Woo! And Todd, I said, oh,
I can't believe Lisa didn't go on Twitter today and go in.
And she's just like, yeah, she wanted to use us for this and this and this. And Todd says, well, she just wanted to come in our jazz suite, and this time she had to do anything for him. Ooh. And I said, oh, I was like, oh. I was like, damn.
I said, throw your shade, Miss Todd.
Todd came in there and cleared it. I said, you know what? I don't like Todd, but there's a small appreciation for Todd only because he just gives me just an old disrespectful man. And
it's very kind of, I'm gonna say, well, I'm 60, whatever.
Yeah, 60, I don't like it, but I like it.
But he just like them old people, in your family. They just kind of. Cortez, when we was over there with your grandma, she was just saying her truth and how she felt. That's just what it is. When you get to a certain age, it's like, I'm gonna just say what I want, and ain't nobody gonna move me, and ain't nobody gonna change my mind. That's kind of, I think, where Todd is now. Todd just so happened to be married to a much younger woman.
Child, Todd, it's the way he says things with a straight face, but realistically, he reminds me of fucking what's his name from Family Guy? Peter. Is it Peter Parker? What's his last name?
No, Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
Oh, that's Spider-Man. Well, it's one of them damn Peters. Peter Griffin. Peter Griffin.
But I'm like, he must didn't like the Barlows from the very beginning, because he threw shade at their tequila when they was in Palm Springs. So he's just not been feeling them.
I think that he is just kind of, I feel like when Bronwyn would go home after their filmings, they would have pillow talk. She would tell him stuff. And by the time, mind you, by the time that they got to their anniversary trip, there was already a little bit of issue. And so he came in with Like y'all can leave or whatever. Now, I mean, he's an older man, you know, per Angie, he got 1 foot on the banana peel and 1 foot out on the grave. So listen, he's an older man. He can say what he want to say, right? I think now let me tell you something. I don't know what he gonna say when he hear that, but I want to know what he gonna say when that comes up, when that little moment comes up, because I know he is not.
Well, he did say on Watch What Happens Live that he has not forgiven Angie for that.
And I don't think, and I'm saying I don't think
that on Watch What Happens Live. He said he did. He was like, yeah, and Bronwyn was like, but he will. I've forgiven her. I had to forgive, you know, and move on because we played the exercise, the game or whatever. And Todd was like, not me. Not me.
Yeah. And I hate that because you know we love us some Sean. So I would just, you know, I would just
love me.
I would just hate for there to be some issues between them two. But if it is, I'm Team Sean.
Absolutely.
Yep. So that happens in the break room. They go back out. All the husbands join the stage. This is the last part. Bronwyn and Todd, they are asked about their relationship. Bronwyn, they both talk about what they've learned and how they've grown a little bit from the show. Bronwyn says that she feels like it sounds like she's always trying to beat the person to the punch about like a joke about herself. So I guess she like talks too much. I didn't really understand what the hell she was trying to say. What I was hoping to hear more about was what Todd had learned from seeing the show, because watching the show, he does not seem like the nicest to her. But that's not really what he said. He just says that he acknowledges how he is. But they say they're doing better, you know. He
said it on Watch What Happens Live that he kind of, you know, acknowledges his tone and stuff like that as well. So
I'm glad, because I know there was a point on the show in the season where I was saying that, you know, I feel like, you know, she wouldn't come back next season because of him. But after watching the reunion, he seemed kind of warm. Like it's almost like he was like, I'm ready. Like, you know. And so I think that if she does come back, I think she will probably still come back. I think she'll stop. I think now he knows how to move, and I think we're gonna have to get used to this person, this Todd, because
I think she's gonna be a little different next season as well.
Yeah, I agree. I think we'll probably see more from them, whatever. But anyway, you know, Todd basically expresses, you know, he threw a little shade at Heather because about what Heather said about the money and stuff like that. Whatever it was, he was talking about basically like people talking and always
not even know his name.
Not know his name. That was shade at Heather. She looked over there like, me. But as the episode goes off, you know, he's talking to Lisa about, you know, what she basically more so upset about what she said on the after show. John tells him to watch his tone, which I don't think he didn't really get loud. I mean,
I think I was like,
he was talking the same tone he was talking in when he was talking about everything else, but he watch his tone, and that's where the episode ends. So, any final thoughts on this episode, or just because it looks like we're gonna have a little back and forth between the husbands a little bit, you know? I'm sure we'll probably touch on the whole Justin and John thing again, you know.
Yeah.
But any thoughts? Anything you may feel like how you feel about the reunion part one? I thought it was a pretty good. I thought it was a pretty solid part one.
I did too. I thought it was a pretty solid. I think it laid the foundation for, you know, it's with 3 parts or 2 parts?
3 parts. 3.
Okay, for the upcoming episodes. I will say, kind of seeing Todd on the reunion and then seeing him in the audience last night, I was like, okay, well, Todd, you know, them points you lost, the 10 points you lost throughout the season.
Yeah.
I'll give you back 2 of them. So now we get a 2 instead of being at a 0, you know. So I do, you know, sometimes it does take to kind of see yourself back, especially in that type of situation, and then you can kind of know how to move better. And with Bronwyn coming on Watch What Happens Live right after, you know, part 1 of the reunion, that's why I was like, okay, maybe she will, you know, be back. And then she seems to be okay with most of the women, you know, on the cast. So I'm like, okay, so it's still room for her to be friends with a Whitney and an Angie and Mary and so on and so forth. So I'm looking forward to that. John was kind of like, I was like, John, when he was putting y'all ass out, you was sitting there looking scared and shook in Palm Springs, but now all of a sudden you know, you got a big chest and you beating on it like, hey, watch your tone. That's why I was like, Ty, you know, pointed that little short, fat, little ashy white finger back and was like, you watch your tone.
He said, watch your tone, watch your tone.
Watch your tone.
I was like, watch your tone, watch your tone. They was on there like this. They was getting off. They get crunk, and I was like, oh, you know, I love when the hoods go at a child.
I was like, okay, Todd, you gotta let that young fool know, Todd. He ain't gonna fuck with you.
I'm so weak. No, it was definitely, it was, I'm ready to see how it unfolds. Yeah. We also see, it looks like next week this is what Mary talks about Robert Jr. Yeah. And it looks like Whitney got emotional about it.
You know, Whitney daddy, and that made me think, like, where the hell is Whitney daddy? Because since she brought him on the show and he didn't speak to her no more, we ain't really heard nothing else about it. Because, you know, he was on drugs as well, right?
He has some kind of addiction. Some kind of addiction. I'm not sure what it was.
Okay, he was dealing with addiction then. But yeah. So I'm sure, you know, that kind of, you know, hit close to home, you know. Yeah. So yeah, I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so we got 2 callers in the queue. I'm gonna get them on, and then we're gonna get out of here. We'll be here next week for part 2 of the reunion. Illy said he relapsed. I do remember her saying that, but we don't know where he is now. But I think he had alcohol. It was addiction. It wasn't it's an addiction, but it wasn't
like drugs.
I think it's been a minute. Make sure y'all like this video. I know y'all see Art World in the chat saying it, Jasmine saying it, Amanda K, Main Tips, Chase. Like this video, y'all. Okay, keep us in the algorithm. It's like 60 plus of y'all up in here. We having a party, but watch your tone. Okay, not just playing. Because I will go the distance to get evidence.
And then I'm gonna send you the bill.
All right, y'all. Let me get this call on right now. What's going on, Sarah? How are you?
Hi. It's my first time doing this, so I'm a little nervous.
Don't be nervous. You know, it's just your
family. You with family.
You can do what you want to say, but watch your tone.
I've watched you guys for like a while. I think like a couple of months now, like back to back, like since Jersey started. So it's like my first time doing this.
Okay.
Yeah. The only, I guess, like a couple of things I wanted to say. Like, the first thing is, it's kind of interesting to me, like now watching the show, how everybody's like up Lisa's ass, like literally, like everybody's always like just after her. Yeah. And then they get like kind of like annoyed when she's just showing herself and kind of like being herself, even though she is surface level, but they can't accept that. It's kind of like, why do you want to push her to be somebody that she's not? You either accept her the way she is or move on. Like it's just how it is. And the way I see it is kind of like people say that she's just surface level and not like deep because she doesn't really show as much and just like keeps it to materialistic things. But the way I see it is kind of like, why should she give deep stuff to them when they haven't shown her that they could be trusted? Like, I'm also the type of person that I've had people say like, I'm not that deep or I'm just like shallow. I'm just not interested in having a lot of friendships like that unless I see them as like potential, maybe I can trust you. And I just don't see that everybody else has that for her. Like, they just want to tell her how she should be, how she should act, and what she should say. And that automatically just shows me, like, why should I be that great friend when you're not really being that great friend to me in the first place? That's the way I saw it, I guess. And for Bronwyn, she needs to stop lying about the stupidest things, because it's just, why? For example, with the necklace, like, why say that you bought it and then be shown that you didn't? It's such a small lie, but why even do that in the first place? I just don't understand that. And her dress, like, I'm claustrophobic, and that's like too much. Like, literally, I felt like she was being choked.
It did look like she couldn't really turn out, like she was like, you know,
literally.
I don't know who was being choked, her or Mary. I mean, they both didn't have no neck. They both were just like.
But the thing with Bronwyn is that she showed those type of dresses all season long, so it just felt flat. when it came to the reunion, because the whole season she just dressed like very extravagant, like all over the place. And then when you got to the reunion, it's kind of like, really, this is what you came up with? Like, you could have come up with something much better, in my opinion. That's the only thing. I do like Meredith's dress just because I love the color. That's my favorite color. So that's
Did you like the
no,
bolero?
the jacket.
Was it not shag? There wasn't no shag. Like, you know how like the old little carpets. That would look like to me.
Did you like that, Sarah?
What do you mean? Like
the little jacket thing that she put on later on?
No, the jacket just felt like you just threw something on. Like, you know when you come out of your house and you just put the first jacket that you found?
Now she said, "Oh, it's cold outside. Let me throw this on." Ooh.
Yeah, like she could have put, one of those that you could put like around your arms, like a very like classy, I don't know, like 90s or 80s or something like that. But to me, it was just, no, I did not like that. But I did like the dress itself by itself. I think it looked good on her and her body. I think it's good.
Did y'all notice real quick with Meredith, when she first came out, she had her hair kind of like all pushed back, but then when she sat down, it was like a bust down.
Yeah.
It looked like maybe she wasn't ready, but she had to get out there. I don't know. But I do recall at first it being kind of like
big and pushed back. I liked it when it looked like that, but then she sat down. I was like, and the camera came back. I was like, where did this part come from? But okay,
maybe like because of her hair texture, whatever they put, it was just not enough to keep it there. That's the only thing I could think of. And as for Heather, I feel for her just because I was also in a cult, and just like that mentality, like getting out of a cult is like really hard, and like coming into yourself and like a new confidence. So I can see her like coming off as like edgy, or hey, I'm losing weight, or I'm just like this new person, but she's like navigating this new life that she never was part of, because she was part of such a like entrenched, I guess, like cult in Utah. And now she's out of it, and it's kind of like, who am I guess, is what we're trying to see. Who is the new Heather? And it could look like so many different things, and maybe like mean or edgy or whatever. But I do think she's messy. Definitely. Like, definitely messy. And I'm definitely here for it, because like it's good TV. Like, yeah, good TV. And as for Mary, I don't know. It's a question mark for her. Like,
we're gonna discuss Mary more. I got some more callers in, Sarah. I'm gonna let you go, okay?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Thank you for calling in.
Thank you so much.
Calling in next week too, because it's gonna get really good. I feel like, especially once, because these husbands about to go at it. I feel like I really do.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. Yeah.
All right, thank you for calling in. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, that was Sarah. Thank you, Sarah. And Miss Maintip said that Meredith had high body count hair. That is what she had when she came out.
Well, we know Meredith had all of New York. So.
Well, yes, per Lisa. That's why. So honestly, I understand what Sarah is saying, but I will say, Sarah, I don't know.
That bumping that she had at first, I wonder that bumping that she had. That's it.
I'm weak. All right, so our next caller is going to be Sean. Hey, Sean, how are you?
Hey, how are y'all?
It's been a long time. You called in and talked to us. Dang.
No.
I be there every week. So
you
that's
do.
good enough.
Call in and talk. I don't. Yeah. How are you?
I don't think this reunion was good for Bronwyn. To me, I had my suspicions of her, but she just got exposed for all the lies she's been telling throughout the year. Even though Lisa is Lisa, Whitney and her, these little rumors that they keep coming up with, it has to have some truth to it. But when they showed the G-Wagon still sitting next to a Porsche, y'all need to come up with some better rumors or something that's true. Because I think Whitney, every rumor that comes out, Whitney is gonna try to say it on the TV screen.
That's it, Sean. They gotta stop believing everything that some random person sends them.
Yes.
One thing I want to say, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Sean. What irritates me is, seeing these women talk to these bloggers and they ain't talking to me. Like they could be talking to, we ain't messy like that. Dang. Okay, I'm sorry. I had to put it out there.
But for like Whitney, the blogger that she was talking to, Whitney said Lisa and that Alibaba stuff beforehand. Then she tried to go to the blogger to find, for that person to find any proof, but he said there is no proof. So Whitney had to keep going with the same lie.
Oh.
And Whitney you could just see the joy on Whitney's face when she's talking, spreading rumors. And I see why Lisa acted the way she did, because everybody had something personal what they said about. She just came up with another rumor just to get it out. Then they're gonna look dumb. Oh, I don't believe it. So why did you say it? And why is it in your phone? They need to stop with that. It's just terrible. They too old for that. So I'll let y'all get to talking to your other people.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Sean.
Bye.
Bye, Sean.
They too old for that.
No, they too old. They are. Sean said, well, she closed the door in our face. She said, bye.
Bye. That's what I had to say for you.
So thank you, Sean, for calling in as always. All right, our final caller for tonight is going to be Lisa. Hey, Lisa, how are you?
Hi, Sir Darling. How you doing?
We're doing okay. How did you enjoy the reunion? What you got for us?
Good, child. I'm loving Uncle Todd, baby. I'm loving Uncle Todd. Uncle Todd is something like Uncle G. He gonna come straight at you, baby. Okay. I'm loving Uncle Todd. He was shady, but I'm gonna say let's get started. Child, why is Whitney? I'm like the last caller said. If you don't believe the rumor, why you bringing it up then? Okay. Why you bringing it up? It don't make no sense if you don't believe it. Okay. And I'm talking about, girl, yeah, you want to believe everything about Lisa. You really do. You wouldn't want to say, yeah, Lisa ain't, you got your stuff told and all that right there. Lisa, you a damn lie. Not me. They go the Porsche, they go the G-Wagon right there, baby. Ain't nothing, our stuff ain't being taken. Okay. And I'm like, and I promise you, Andy's face last night said it all when he read that text message. And he said, well, it ain't great what the woman said. When he read some of it, then he started reading all of it. He like, you can see his face like, it ain't great what she said. He said, it's not great. You stuff like you really lied. Talking about you got the necklace and stuff, and you didn't pay them folks for their money. You didn't pay none of that stuff. Okay. So you need to check yourself. I always say, for you take somebody else's finances, check your own finances, honey. Todd may not be rich like they say he may be rich. Okay. You know what I'm saying? We don't see let's be real. We don't see housewives come on these shows pretend like they got it all going on and they ain't got it going on like that. And so that's how I feel about it. But I'm gonna tell y'all, I realized something. People kind of put Lisa, and I realize Lisa should have really said I love it, but I'm understanding what Lisa kind of be when it comes to the grandparents and Bronwyn, because Lisa's like, well, I'm hearing a different story than that, because according to the grandparents told Lisa, they did not know it was a child. They thought the baby was gone. And now I'm like, if that was the grandparents told Lisa, is I'm not white? Is I'm not white, Cortez? The grandparents told Lisa that the baby supposed to have been gone.
Well, she said that they told her that she had a miscarriage.
Yeah.
They were informed that she had a miscarriage, is what I got from that.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And I really do feel bad for everybody because Gwen's father is not there. And that's the saddest thing of all. Gwen don't get a chance to know her father. And that's the saddest thing of all. She didn't get the chance to know this man before he passed away. And that was really touching me. that's like, you know what I'm saying, that like she didn't get a chance to know her father and all this stuff by him. But I can definitely, you know, but it just some kind of it touched me because I am a little bit some in that situation, so that I can truly understand where Baldwin coming from.
Mhm.
And but it is that way I said this really touched my heart yesterday, and I'm feeling what Lisa said. I feel like I'm listening to what they saying, and I'm listening to what you saying.
But how
And
did
I'm like, yeah, she should just stayed out of it and said, I'm backed up. I don't want to say no more about it. I should just stayed out of it. But when you brought it up on the show, and now you would say, why you bring up after show? We're on after show. You supposed to talk about what's going on in the show.
I don't feel nothing for the grandparents because even now, how they tried to get to how they tried to get to know the little girl, the young lady.
I don't know.
I don't think so. Based on the show,
She
they like,
said
yeah, we'll meet
something.
you, but we don't want to be talking about nothing from the past or something like that. They kind of get to her, so that's what make me think like whatever they saying is bull.
The reason why I believe her is in this moment is because I know that, you know, that community of being a Mormon or whatever, how they are. She got pregnant. She was not married or nothing like that. You know, so all of these things align with, you know, how it would be. You
Yeah, but
know, this is
yeah.
not the
Yeah,
first.
that's what I'm talking about. That's yeah.
Well, so yeah, so somebody else gave a story. I feel like where, I mean, it just in June. I can't think of what it was, but I feel like it was another story that was mentioned about how the parents were not as like accepting of a pregnancy, and so you have to know that
Yeah.
all of it aligns with what they're with what happened in terms of there being a possible alleged miscarriage or whatever, or with the relationship. Like it feels like they just want nothing to do with this child because they feel now how they felt 18 years ago that there shouldn't
I
have been a
don't.
child. So that's just me.
I mean, I don't think. I think they. I don't know what the situation is,
Yeah,
and I really do hope in the future they try to get the chance to know their grandchild.
yeah.
And because you like it or not, this child is supposed their son. The son is gone. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I said I really got emotional about that because when I promise you, once you close your eyes, you cannot do nothing about it. And you know, hey, whoever said, hey, girl, yeah, hey, yeah, also, let me tell you something about Heather, baby. Heather is right. Ain't nobody think kiss your ass wanting to go on no damn trip. I'm not finna kiss your ass.
You talking
I'm
about
not finna kiss your butt. I'm not finna kiss your butt to go on the trip. Yeah, I am feeling myself because I have lost my weight, baby. I'm out. I'm a brand new person. I'm a brand new person, and I'm not fin. And I'm not thinking in the past Heather have been trying to kiss people butt and trying to be accepted. But now she's like, you accept me or you don't accept me, and I'm fine with it. But I'm not finna kiss your butt to go on no trip though.
mm-hmm.
Okay, and
She
that's
got
just
kissed
it.
a little
So
bit.
yeah. Now we ain't kiss nobody but to go on no trip, baby dog. I take my own trip.
Well, that's why she was
I
at
ain't
home.
finna kiss your butt. That's what we do. That's right, honey. She was at her own home, baby dog. And Heather was like, baby, I'm fine with myself, baby. I'm fine with myself not going on that trip, okay? And that's
Heather
just
told me
it. So I'm a Heather fan. I'm a big Heather fan. So other than that, I mean, I just didn't see nothing else with it. I'm kind of see what they're gonna do next week. You know what I'm saying? So,
that.
and I don't like when the husband get into it. I really don't. I'm sorry. I don't like to see when the husband get into it.
I
I
love
do
it.
not. But I like Uncle Todd. Uncle Todd got shade. He do like Peter Griffin from
He do.
what you call it?
From
He
Family
look like Peter Griffin.
We
He
like the
do.
real life Peter Griffin.
He sure do
He
with the
reminds me of him.
mustache. With the
All right,
mustache.
Lisa,
But I
we're
see
gonna get
y'all
her.
next week. I see
All
y'all
right,
next week. Y'all have a beautiful weekend, okay?
have a
Love
good night.
y'all.
Love you too.
Bye bye.
Okay, that was our last caller for tonight. I thought it was a pretty good, solid part one. I'm hope to hear what you guys thought, whether you're watching live or watching the replay. Let us know in the comments how you feel. Let us know how you feel about specifically Bronwyn and Lisa's thing as far as the husband, the the parents saying this, the miscarriage, because that seems to be a big thing right now.
Yeah.
Like even right now on social media, I think Bronwyn posted this long post about everything, kind of proving that Lisa knew not to talk about it at all and things like that. So we'll see. Honestly, it doesn't really matter what Bronwyn could literally post. She could jump in her body and make her say it again, and Lisa would say, "I didn't say that," or she's not going to own up to saying it. She will find a way to make it look like, honestly, she's like a victim of it. And I just really wish, as a person who enjoyed Lisa in the past, and kind of sometimes I wish she would like own up to something. I don't like anybody that doesn't take any accountability. Like any is crazy. That's just me. So with that being said, make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all subscribe. We'll be back Monday for Potomac. If you watch Potomac, we're live Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern. And then we're here Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern for Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And of course, if you're watching Salt Lake City, we're back here next week, same time, or around the same time, rather. But you'll know if you subscribe. Okay. So on that note, thank y'all for watching, and we will see y'all next time. Y'all have a good night. Thank you, Antonio. Thank you, everybody, to watch tonight, and peace.